the shit. I'm gonna check the phone. It's on. It's live.
Yeah.
Live.
We're live, my guy.
Hey, hope. Hey.
All right, what's up? Cheers. Ice to Eskimos.
Ice to Eskimos. I'm seeing that there's an error loading.
It's an error loading.
Yeah.
I got mine playing. I see mine playing on my phone.
Okay. Might just be me then.
I just got that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We're good now.
Is it? I got green now.
Yeah.
All right. Did you drink? I didn't drink. Let's retoast.
Yeah, got to retoast. Hold on.
Cheers. Ice to Eskimos.
What do you guys got going up in the great city of Memphis?
Man, sorry about that, man. Just always technical difficulties.
Not always. We just working through. You hear me? Eskimos don't say shit you don't mean.
Saying game to players. Welcome. What's going on, fella? Oh, we got some shit to talk about today.
Los, you want to tell us where you at, man, or you want to keep it low key? No, I do. I keep my shit low key.
Hey, no, man, there's nothing to hide. I'm up in St. Louis, Missouri today, man. Got a call a couple of days ago to come show some birthday love to some people up here. And my brother calls. I try to answer the call. So me and my guy Jubu up here now. Got a couple of hours before it's time to hit.
The man himself.
That's dope, man. I know you're probably happy. I imagine you're probably happy to be out the house working a little bit, stretching your legs a little bit.
Get out the city for a minute is always wonderful.
How was the highways? I haven't been out of Memphis in a minute. How was the highways?
It was cool, bro. It was like a 4-hour drive, but it was peaceful. I had one little traffic issue, but that was because of an accident. Once we got past that, let me see, I was on the road by 1:50. I was here at the hotel, 5 something.
Well, look,
it was great.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm impatient. I really want to jump into this shit right now because y'all heard about that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett bullshit?
I did. You hear about the Will Augusta? I don't know. I didn't even know the dude.
Augusta. Yeah, what's his name? Augusta what?
Oh, about old boy that was dating Jada?
Yeah, the one who's smashing Jada.
He smashed
his whole self to Jada.
He gave his whole self to her.
So he said if he died, he feel like he know he could die because he gave his whole self to somebody.
That's what he said.
No, they said that. I saw a piece of it anyway.
Man, so how?
Okay, so
I know how Carlos about all this. I don't have to. I bet I know how he's okay with this whole joint sharing of dicks and pussies and just nastiness going on.
Bro. Why are you being grotesque about it? It's not about being gross, man. Like for real.
Hey, what it is. What it is, grotesque. How's that grotesque? I'm just saying.
I'm about sharing dicks and pussies like that. It's not just
sharing spit and pussies and
hold on.
Sex out of it, man. The relationship is not built in just only about the sex.
Okay.
About being able to explore having multiple relationships versus the norm of creeping and sneaking in line and living double lives. It's about knowing what it is that you want, being okay with that, and being upfront with the people that you're involved with. That's what it's about. That the sex is just an afterthought or a treat that comes along with it.
I love how you have sex. I know damn well most people would do that for the sex. Most men are doing it for the sex. But if I was sleeping with a lot of women, I wasn't doing it for the relationship factors of getting to know different women on a high level. Now I was liking pussy. I like to get pussy. I like to get it. I like to have it every night. It was very selfish and egotistical. I'm not saying that is the way all men are, but all men I talk to and hang out with, and when I'm in conversations with them, pussy is a big deal of why they're chasing women. It's not because they wanted to get to know her and experience her and meet her family and be intimate on a whole nother levels and walk in the parks and share shit. No, they want to fuck. They wanted to fuck. Those two people couldn't wait to fuck. So to me, I just find it to be, I find it odd. I do believe that whatever a couple wants to do, it's their business. I'm not going to say that Jada is wrong or Will Smith is wrong in their relationship. I'm just not, it's odd to me. It's very strange to me.
Now, this is funny to me for a guy who, you know what I'm saying, who's such an outward thinker, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? Your first comment as far as, oh, you sharing, like, if you ain't plucking your girl out the, you know what I'm saying, like 14, 15, your girl ain't your girl, you know what I'm saying? Somebody done had it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's extremely a smaller way of looking at it, though, because no one's saying that before me or after me or whatever, that you haven't been in love or couldn't be in love. That's just, I'm saying about, we are committed, we have a family, we have, and this young nigga it's odd.
So
it's odd.
This is the thing. You 25 years in. I guess I don't know how long. I think they 20 some years in.
Right. It's not like they want a divorce. They just too afraid to admit it.
This 20 some years in, and you talk about you got access to whatever you want. You know what I mean? This ain't you ain't living the going to work lifestyle. I mean, you got access to whatever you want. You probably had everything you want. I mean, you probably need something a little fresh and different. But I just commend Will if he allowing his girl to be happy. You know what I'm saying? To me, this is your life.
Be careful, Carlos. There's a punchline coming down.
No, this is the truth. This is your life, man. Like if a person want to be a whore or a slut or, you know what I'm saying, if that's what you then be that. Don't not do it because you try to live by somebody else's rules. You on your deathbed like, I have nobody should have fucked them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if they are happy with it, kudos to them. It's to me on the outside looking in, it's odd, it's strange, it's weird. They are weird. But then now you understand why their children's so goddamn strange. Now you start to understand, okay, these are some weird motherfuckers, y'all. It's not just the children that are weird. It's not Willow and the niggas that are strange. Their parents are weird.
So you just want to live inside the box as far as what? Like the marital relationship has to be like this.
First off, it don't have to be. It's whatever two people want it to be.
I agree
so
with that.
I'm not telling them that what they're doing is wrong, but it's not.
But you're labeling it as weird, though.
To me, it's extremely strange and weird, but they are weird. And I'm not fans. I'm a fan of many of Will Smith's movies and stuff like that, but I'm not really that big of a fan of Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, so I really could give a fuck. You know what I'm trying to say? But I know a lot of people love Will Smith, and I know a lot of people love Jada Pinkett, so this is a big deal. I just find it to be very strange that if you want to do that, that's cool. Making it public and promoting it and sharing it everywhere, it's just odd to me. It's odd to me. I'm not going to say that.
We have so much of the norm of the 80 to 90% of the other thing. Why not show the 10% or the 15% of the other thing that's not so normal? That's fair. That's balance. Life is about seeing all aspects of all things. That applies to relationships as well.
I also like something they said as far as, be in charge of your own happiness. You know what I mean? Some of the things they dropped the Jews. You know what I mean? And to me, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that makes me a little bit apprehensive about marriage. I don't want to be in charge of.
I think it's extremely, you don't know how I really feel about it. I'm trying to be politically correct. How I feel about it is it's extremely immature and it's very surfacey. And the more I'm getting to my relationship, which is completely different than theirs, I'm a different person than them. They aren't me, neither one should act like each other. But the more I'm into my relationship, the more I'm realizing the importance of one woman, one family. I'm understanding the bond in it. There's so many different levels in it. Now, there was a time in my life where I felt like I didn't want just her, that I wanted other women. I wanted other experiences because I felt like that was more free. I felt to be free with that I would be able to do whatever the fuck I wanted with whoever fuck I wanted to do it with. But what I've learned in my marriage and in my relationship, that my freedom has come through in being loved, choosing to be in that situation and to remain focused in that and give all of my energy into that and try to become a better person. When my faithfulness and my love towards my wife has truly made me a better person. Doesn't mean that I've always been perfect or great, but the more and the more that I've become, the better my relationship with my wife has become. And the more I've learned about myself, and the more money I've made, and the more mature I've become, the more successful I've become. It's like there's distractions. When you do it. Look, obviously Will Smith has been able to get pussy, have his family, have his kids, and make shitloads of movies, right? Obviously, it doesn't seem to be too much of a distraction to him or to Jada Pinkett. It must not be a distraction to her, getting young Nick on the side and him having young, because I know for a fact back in the day that Will Smith has been doing this. He had a woman he was paying out in Miami. She was on the top floor. I know this because of people I knew in the industry that knew Will Smith told me, like, Will Smith's girlfriend lives up there. He paid for the whole penthouse. It was like 10 years ago. So I'm sure they've been doing this and it obviously works for them. But for me, I've just learned there's so much beauty in not doing that. And for me, the people I see who want other side things with marriages often are, they're distracted. They're easily distracted, and they're lacking a lot of other things in life. And my friends who've been married and committed, I've noticed almost every one of them get more money and become more successful in life. I just think there's power in that.
Cause you got anything to drop? Cause he turned into a pastor on that one. He was preaching. I love my wife.
No, but I really do. I appreciate the aspect he's coming from. It's easy to. I guess what I appreciate about their situation, like you said, yeah, it's easy to go out there and do that. And it is more difficult to focus all your time and attention and energy on a monogamous relationship with just one person. I guess just for sake of playing the devil's advocate, it seemed for a minute that they were successful in doing that. It wasn't messy. Well, the news and shit getting a hold of it could be another thing, but it seemed to work for them for so long, and to do something that different and to be so successful in it and have children and some kind of how keep it together, I thought that was unique and different. I could appreciate that. Let me see. We have somebody who chimed in. I feel like having relations with someone else takes away from the bond of a couple. The trust in a relationship and the security in being open with your partner. My husband and I are individuals, but we are not also one unit. We are also one unit. Okay, I agree, Miss Natasha. I do. But again, this is life, and it's supposed to be about a lot of different things, about a lot of different experiences. And not everybody's supposed to try everything, but if there's a niche for that somewhere, and there are people who are willing to try that to see if they can find success and happiness in it, who are we to shit on it? Will and Jada did their thing. They realized that they could have another dynamic, but also create something different and keep a family value some kind of how. Kudos to them. Will had a girlfriend the whole time and Jada had boyfriends. Kudos. Like, whatever works for them. It's not really a thing of comparison. It's just everybody has to. I think sometimes you have to go for stuff and find out what you don't like so you can find what you do like. It's possible.
I feel you, and I think two of those people who seem to be well organized, extremely focused, very successful, hardworking, right? These are two people that they can pull off a lot, right? They've shown that they're able to juggle face adversities, and achieve greatness more so than the average person, right? So these are two wonderful, intelligent, talented people, and that maybe they can pull it off. My only thing is, a lot of people are going to look at them, a lot of dudes, a lot of females are going to look at them and be like, see, Jada and them doing it, they getting money, and a lot of people are not nowhere near mentally capable of handling it. Because if that was the case, man, people doing that already, who had already been trying to do it. People been trying to do that for a long time.
There's a lot of people doing it, I'm sure. But let me jump in after Carlos because I wanted to be clear. I got cut off. I was apprehensive about marriage because of the responsibility of happiness that's on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's me. I'm just getting in charge of my fucking happiness. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I gotta make another motherfucker happy is scary to me. It ain't all. I mean, that can be considered selfish, and I have some selfish tendencies. I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm the most giving motherfucker, but I mean, again, some of your happiness is on you. Your happiness is on you. It ain't even some of it. All of it's on you.
Exactly.
When you in a marriage, you got to make very happy.
One thing that I've heard Jada Pinkett and say in the past is, and this is something that they've said about their relationship, was you have to bring happiness into the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, it's not your partner's job to make you happy, but to enhance.
So you fuck with that. You fuck with that. You just don't fuck with them fucking.
I don't give a fuck what they do or who the fuck they fucking. I don't give two shits. I find them to be odd. Them to be this weird, odd couple. And that's fine. I can see them as being odd and weird and strange, but still successful and focused. And I probably have a lot more positives to say about them than them being weird. You know what I'm trying to say? But no, I'm just not a fan of that shit. I think that for them, it works wonderful. But for most men, most relationships, that don't work. And I don't even think, even they graduated, they deserve that. The motherfuckers, some people, listen, man, you got 3 jobs, 2 jobs, you barely paying your motherfucker, you don't need more pussy. You need another hustle. You don't have time for more pussy. You need to get more money.
Is that Ice Eskimos selling game of players? You ain't got time for.
I mean, that's what niggas do. That's what we all do. I thought he don't want to cheers to me.
I think he's slow. Carlos, you don't want to cheer with me. We delayed.
Yes, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You might have to call him back.
It was breaking up. I was breaking up, so I was having a hard time.
If you got run that shit back, what you say? Two girlfriends and a mortgage.
I mean, if you got several women and you can barely pay your mortgage and your car note, you don't need another woman.
You don't need no pussy.
You don't need no pussy. You need some more money. You need another hustle. So what I'm saying is, I think a lot of people are going to look at Jada. A lot of people are going to look at Jada and Will Smith's relationship, and they're going to say, "Yeah, bitch, that's what I've been trying to tell you, baby. You know, we got to be more open-minded with our shit." Nah, you need to get some success. You know what I'm saying? Like, be able to house one. Will Smith is housing his women. He's housing them. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
to me, that's when the normal relationship goes out the window. When you talk about Tiger Woods, when you talk about Michael Jordan, when you talk about these people, I don't know Tyra Banks, Oprah Winfrey. I don't know if I would have the same expectations as the nigga that's working a 9 to 5. I'm saying, if you are on that level, then you might deserve
that. But I said that. That's what I said.
But I'm saying though.
That's what I said. I said, so you gotta at least deserve it. It's weird.
You saying it's weird, but I'm saying if you, I don't know, you in a weird stratosphere.
Yo, look, Hugh Hefner was weird.
You in a weird stratosphere. Now he was old.
You can afford the lifestyle. You can afford that lifestyle. No problem.
This nigga date 20-year-old bitches, right?
Man,
right? That's strange. That's strange. That's weird that you find 22-year-old women. You find a 70-year-old and you find a 22-year-old woman attractive. That's strange to me. That's strange. Not that you want to fuck. Of course, I can understand why you might want to fuck at 72. But I'm saying that you can actually 50 years apart. Like, bro, I can't. That's so strange. That's strange, but it does not mean a 23-year-old. Hold up, does not mean a 23-year-old woman is not smart enough to talk to herself. It ain't about that. It's just strange. But he had earned it. He had earned that right to live that life. Wow. He was already successful. It doesn't mean that he's less weird or than anyone else. It's just that he can do that. Little Junior down the street, you know, in Kroger.
Little Ray.
He can do that, bro. He gonna try to do it though, and he gonna try his best to do it, but he can't do that. He can't do that and get away with it. He needs to get more focused. He needs to be listening to somebody else other than Will Smith or AJ.
We already toasted and agreed on that. I mean, but I'm saying if you're talking about 70 to 20, I mean the age disparity is disgusting. I mean,
I didn't say disgusting. I never used the word.
Okay, whatever you said.
I said odd and strange.
But I'm saying though, my thing is I think attraction is what it is. I think when you talk about star, when you get a 30 and 40 years difference, like a 70-year-old, like he is to a 40-year-old, it's still disgusting. It's still in a real disgusting, but it's valuable.
Not really.
So he only supposed to be attracted to the other motherfuckers.
Not physically. I can understand why he wants to fuck them, but it's hard for me. And I'm not 70. Let me get to be 70. I might be 35 years. She's on my level. You know, we so good together and shit. Let me reach that level. But right now, bro, it's hard for me to understand. So all I'm saying is, it's weird. It's not just weird there. It's weird that people are allowed to have weird things. But I think, personally, it's best to focus on what you're trying to do in life. In most situations, you're going to succeed and go further if you go ahead and love that woman fully.
Carlos, do you believe in age? I feel like, excuse me, Natasha, before I ask you finish that question.
He read that.
Oh, yeah, I read it? I didn't hear that. Okay. Yeah, Carlos, how do you feel about age when you get into the 70s and talking about 50s? I mean, beyond where we at. What?
And before you answer that, Carlos, y'all make sure y'all keep responding, man. Talk to us. Let us know how y'all feeling, man. We see y'all watching in. What's up, Neil? He did. Carlos read her thing. Sorry to interrupt you, Carlos. Go ahead, brother. Just want to make sure everybody knows join the conversation.
Well, it's that part of it. It's a little different because we age a little differently than women do. So, considering, of course, all old men like younger chicks, and most young chicks like older men. So,
but we're not talking about 30 and 40-year-old. We're talking about a 40-year-old man likes a 32-year-old woman, a 28-year-old woman, a 50-year-old man likes a 36-year-old, 38, 40-year-old, and it shouldn't be based on numbers. It really shouldn't.
And that's the whole thing. It's really about the personality. Right. Because if this is a 75-year-old dude, but he got the body of a 45-year-old and the attitude and the mindset of somebody that's young, who's to say he doesn't deserve to have a young woman on his side? You know what I'm saying? Or I've seen some posts on Instagram of some 60 and 75-year-old women who are in better shape than 30 and 40-year-olds and look damn well as hot as the 20-year-olds. So it just depends on the situation. It's situational. It just depends on the people that are involved and how well they connect. And if there's a connection, how can you deny that regardless of what the age may be? It has to be attraction. There has to be some things that we can talk about and grow and learn. But if you feeling me and you 70, but I look at you and I don't really see 45, maybe 40, maybe 30. Hey,
I'm not a person who is strong on age, and that's not pro young. That's I've always talked up. All right, so I was a younger guy with older sisters, and I'm looking at their friends like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like the girls on my age, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I've always disputed age for my sake, trying to go up, not like, oh, I want to talk to a young female. You know what I'm saying? So I think I just want to be clear about all this shit ain't about young and old men wanting young women. It ain't just like that. Some men prefer older women. You know what I'm saying? you too young for me. You know that you a little boy. You know what I mean? That's what I experienced. That's what I grew up with, that type of shit. You know what I mean? So age is not just classified in a situation where the dude is trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to relive some shit. Maybe a motherfucker, that's why females date older dudes. They mature or they want to be on some mature shit. You know what I mean? So it's other aspects. And that's all I want to just highlight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's classic thinking ain't always the bottom line for everybody.
It's not. But it also, most of the time, the reason why those certain things last longer, marriages, they establish a marriage, why people have been wanting to get married for so long, is because it does work. Compared to marrying 4 women, 1 woman, 1 man, it's proven to work more often. And there's power in 1 man, 1 woman, 1 family coming together and loving. There's power in that, and it allows growth in different areas. And it's truly learning. You're learning to remove yourself and your own desires and get into a bigger thing. It's something way more beautiful than that to me. But if you choose,
the only way you can learn that is in monogamy.
Definitely.
And one of your wife has 2 husbands. Bro, I will come to every celebration you niggas invite me to. And I will love every one of your wives and every one of your wives' husbands. I will smoke weed with them. I'll bring liquor for their celebration. No judgment. That just ain't me, man.
That's hilarious. Let me tell you something. I'm not pro with all that other shit. Like, I'm not a nigga that want 2 or 3 wives. Shit, like I want to get to a point where I want 1 wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, a man and a woman coming together on the same wavelength is God. That's what God is. God is man and female. You know what I'm saying? In mind. So I mean, the possibilities of that union is appealing. Mm-hmm. But again, at this stage, like you at a different stage, like your kids. You know what I'm saying? Coming up like that. Like my kids at a stage where I already gave them folk, you know what I'm saying, 20, you know what I'm saying, plus years. I gave them folk they bid. You know what I'm saying? I did my bill with my kids. It's really slick about me. You know what I'm saying? That's where, you know what I'm saying, and that might be considered, but again, it's a mindset, and I think it's being on the same mindset. You know what I'm saying? So like Jada and Will, whatever their relationship is,
they like where they are.
Again, where you come from, I mean, shit, if you in a situation like I'm not pro R. Kelly in a situation where you sleeping with a bed full of bitches, but if you get to that rhythm,
hard to break it.
It'll be damn near like, oh, I can go with 1 bitch because I'm tired of that.
I get it, but that's where the growth comes in. What you're saying is, you would have to grow to come out of that situation to be able to see something different. But look, to me, it's strange too how we look at those ages. But it's like all the way up into the 70s or some shit. Motherfuckers was like, my grandmama got married at 13.
That's real. See, that's a whole nother shit.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then my other grandmama got married at 16 to a 28 to a 32-year-old.
Wow.
Something like that, right? So like, you think about the way all the time, this has been the way it's always been. Men have dated younger women, extremely younger women, and now there's an age rule. Now it's like if you were 19, you can't date a 17-year-old. But if you're 65, it's completely cool and cool if brother is dating a 30-year-old woman. And to me, bro, it's just as fucking weird and strange as if a 20-year-old wanted to date a 5-year-old. That to me is strange. It's strange. Now, it may not be strange to you that a 60-year-old wants to date a 35-year-old, or to you, it may not be strange to you, but it is strange to me that a man in his 60s is going to find multiple women. Like we were talking about Hugh Hefner, wannabe pimps, things like find multiple women in their 20s that he identifies with. That's
Carlos, odd. I'm not disagreeing, Carlos. All right, so let me tell you this. I feel like it is weird, and I can imagine it being weird. I'm not there, so I can't say it's weird exactly. And You know what I'm saying? I would think it's again about attraction, but I'm not even. I don't know that would be my aspiration. That ain't like because all my connection is not about sex. You know what I'm saying? That's not. Again, life is too has too many core variables for it to be all about sex. And then also, you know what I'm saying? If you know your worth, you ain't just giving that whole thing over. You know what I'm saying? You can't just. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. But I just don't feel like a older guy. When you put 20 to 5, that made me want to throw up. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about when you talk about men, women mature faster than men. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be the word. Men. You know
I mean that's debatable, G. That's debatable. We all say that, but
in certain instances, you don't think women mature faster than men?
As a whole, fuck no. I mean, some women do, yeah, but women most women mature. No, I don't think so. I don't know the answer. I don't know, but I don't think that. I don't disagree with that. I know a lot of men who you were very mature as a kid. When I think about you, no, for real. When I think about maybe you weren't mature in relationships.
No.
Maybe you weren't mature in relationships.
Because I was trying to hang with older kids.
But see, that's the thing. But you were mature, so you were mature enough to understand that. I can think of a lot of men that Isaac is probably one of the most mature motherfuckers.
Like Isaac is one of the most immature motherfuckers.
Nah, dude, Isaac is one of the most mature motherfuckers I know. You know what I'm trying to say? I can't think of anybody, male or female, many people that could compete with the level of maturity that he's on. To me, so I thought you were mature. I think Carlos is a mature person. I think there are hella women that are mature, bro. I know a lot of immature fucking women, bro. A lot of fucking immature women.
I'm saying if you talking about
immature men,
if you talking about an age range, if you talking about 7th grade, 6th grade, when boys were still running around wrestling and shit, and girls were like that's you know what I'm saying? When it gets to they have another level.
No, they're doing TikToks, they're doing jump rope games, and they're doing other things that females do on the same immature level of girls. They're doing their own thing. They're coloring and
so you don't feel like females mature faster than guys.
I think
Carlos, what'd you say?
I was laughing at him. He said they are coloring.
Do you agree that females mature on the same speed as men?
In different areas. I think girls, well, it just depends on, again, it's situational. Where they're coming from. If this young lady is coming from a home where her mom is showing her how to cook and take care of her clothes and wash and keep a house, how to understand money, how to take care of her credit, how to, like, if she's getting life lessons, you know, it just depends. A lot of times, guys, we just growing up trying to be cool, you know what I'm saying, and survive. And then all of a sudden, once we get grown, then we're trying to sort our way through things and figure out who we are and relationships and all that stuff. So I think it just depends on the setup. If there's, you know what I'm saying? If you coming from a very structured home and an upbringing where, you know, this guy sees a father that's loyal and faithful and does what he's supposed to do and taking care of the home and loving his wife, and you know what I'm saying? It's a possibility for that young man to be mature. You know, it's situational, I think.
That's what I'm saying. It really depends, yeah.
But see, this goes back to when you say the training. Again, young girls back your great grandparents or your grandparents, 14, women were trained already with the expectation of shit after 10 years old, you finna have to be a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But men were being trained that after 16 years old, you better fucking be able to take care of a woman and take care of a child and build a whole fucking house.
But again, that's 2 years behind though.
But he has to do, that's 15 other million things he's about to provide for our whole family. That means the responsibilities are different. women, which is it's too broad of a statement to say women mature faster than men. Some women mature faster than men. That's very true. Some men mature faster than women, though. You know, some women.
I agree.
Again, in that school we went to, St. Augustine, you had to be one of the most mature people. Okay, so I guess this is the way you came off. See, yeah. But probably you would get kicked out because you were acting too goddamn grown.
I was a high head. I was a different version of you. You know what I'm saying? I was. Shit, I fought so much.
It's your fault. See, I was looking up to you too much.
Yeah, I was fighting a lot.
I went to school. Everybody don't even know. We kind of grew up together. He was a role model to me. He was a point guard. I was like the junior point guard. People call me like Little Bobby. And like, you know.
I was like, you little Rick Fontaine.
They call me whatever the fuck they wanted to. That guy was playing in Memphis the other day. When I first got here, niggas like, and I thought you was Justin Smollett.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Who was in Memphis to call you in again? Right in your face, man. Old player too, man. Sitting outside waiting on the ride. He's like, damn, bro, I thought you was Justin Smollett. He started laughing. Trying to check.
Oh, you should have came back and you should have flamed his ass. You should have flamed him. Like, you don't get away with it just because you older. So you had a family with you when you got in town?
No, not that trip. I was actually flew by myself on that first one.
Okay.
I kind of came in here, so I was standing by myself. But thinking about like getting checked and shit like that, you brought up something earlier. It's a good way to check out which one of the women you date. If you got a bunch of women, you should go somewhere and start a fight. Start a fight. Lose. Purposely lose. So you know it, and see which one of them take care of.
Okay, no.
That's the one. That's the one you keep. That's the one you keep. That's the one you build the whole family with right there. That's the one. You don't need the one that's gonna lead you, even when you fuck up. You know, I fucked up. I started some shit with someone I should start with. He embarrassed the shit out of me. Lost the tooth. Gotta get that shit fixed. Who will ride with you to the dentist?
Hey, let me tell you something. I saw these two scenarios on Beale Street. I saw these two scenarios. Black couple, black dude drunk, black girl going on. I told your ass you was drinking 2 motherfucking months. White couple, white boy drunk as hell. White girl like, I got you, Tim. I got, leave him alone, goddamn, he's drunk. Leave him alone. She was ready to save Tim. Black girl pissed as hell. You got me out here like this. You got me out here like this. You damn fool. What the fuck you doing? I don't know, man. I feel like if you get whooped in front of your mate, the scenario got to be perfect where they didn't jump in. You know what I'm saying? If you started it though, and you got what you deserve, I don't think your mate can respect you no more. I think they gonna hold it over your head for life.
I think that's why if you got multiple women, you got to put them to the test, because I think there are gonna be some women out there that are gonna.
Why are you pointing at me like I got multiple women? Just because I said I ain't ready to get married, don't mean I got multiple women. Like, like that ain't what I'm saying. Like,
get you
like, oh, breathe down. I mean, I respect you.
You know I wouldn't ready you out, bro.
No, you didn't say that. Like we talked earlier, baby. Hold on, that man, damn, man, like some bullshit. Hell nah, he don't even want me to date black. I mean, he get me started. That man is talking about black women. Nah. I had to get him back.
There you go.
Carlos, how you feel like about fighting in front of your mate? Do you feel like your mate should respect you after that?
What do you mean fighting? I mean, like, what's the situation?
All right, let me say that.
About ass and go slap the shit out of somebody.
I'm gonna give you two scenarios. All right, one, your girl popping off. She drunk and she popping off, and a dude get offensive, and you try to defend her and get your ass whooped. That's one. How your what's the relationship after that?
If I didn't get my ass handed to me because of her popping off at the mouth, man, I would at least hope that she'd be there, to take care of me and, nurse my wounds, just like Martin. When he felt like shooting off on Thomas to get hit, man. Choose to get hit, man. So yeah. I need some sugar for all this shit you just put me in. Yeah.
I don't need no salt.
I would hope she would, notice what I just did and stuck my neck on the line for some shit that started. But you feel I'm supposed to protect you and all of that, even though it wasn't my mouth that did it. So I would hope she'd be there to, help me heal my wounds.
And you start a situation. You too drunk, bump into somebody.
Now I'm really mad because I took an ass whooping for a motherfucker getting my ass handed to me for.
Free, how about you? We're gonna come back to you. He look like he getting watched by the FBI. Keep looking at the, what the fuck? Who watching you? Shit, you on
Say it again, it broke up.
Is somebody outside naked? You watching like this National Lampoons or some shit going on. Is the pool right outside? Are they butt naked at the pool? Free. If you get to fight and it's your fault, do you expect your woman to hold you down as far as pampering you without making fun of you?
In the moment, you can't make fun of me. I just get my ass whooped, I just get my ass whooped, we good. And in the situation I'm in now, I expect my wife to take care of me, But
I'm seeing who's walking
in the past
up to the hotel.
Huh? I definitely dated women in the past that would have probably left my ass. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what I'm trying to say. I think that's a good test. Because I think, what would you do if your woman was popping off and she got her ass beat by a girl? So she at the club, she talking shit to another girl, and that girl handed it to her.
I gotta drag a bitch. I gotta drag a bitch for my bitch. You know what I'm saying? I gotta drag a bitch for my bitch. Like, I'm not an advocate.
All right, but so you have to beat up a girl. Now you gotta beat up a girl, and then y'all get to the crib. What's your relationship like? What's your relationship like after she got her ass beat?
I'm a compassionate human being. I have been in a situation where I popped off before. I'm like, babe, I hope you realize you ain't wouldn't need to be popping off regularly no more.
Right.
Because sometimes niggas can get the best thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, how you got your motherfucking ass whooped, that's what you get. Right. I don't feel like there's time and place for it. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if you get the it can go both ways. It can work out in your favor, and sometimes it can't. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody really undefeated. Even Floyd Mayweather, he lost to somebody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't on paper. Right. You know what I'm talking about? So, thing is, if your motherfucker hold you down, I think it's cool. You know what I mean? It's just what you need. Some people need that tough love, though. Everybody don't need the same thing. Some people need that. You got your ass moved by them. You like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a good way. That's what I'm saying. If you take care of your woman, Carlos would take care of his woman. I would take care of her woman. So I think that's a good way of saying it. Woman take care of you even when you're wrong. Not all the time. You can't make a habit of being wrong all the time. But first few times, in life or later in life, you fuck up doing some shit. I think because that shows down the line, you're gonna fuck the money up.
See, that's why
I need the money up one day.
That's why I fuck with my girl. I want to shout out my girl. That's why I fuck with my girl. My girl's strong. I need a strong woman. I don't need a woman who weak as hell. I don't need a woman that can just be jacked up by anybody, me, anybody. You know what I'm saying? I need a woman that'll break a bottle off the side of the table be like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? If it's me or somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't putting hands on a woman. That ain't how I was raised. But I'm saying I need a woman that's ready to defend. So if I do get in a situation where it's a misunderstanding or I'm in one of them moves and I, man, put a hand on a nigga and the nigga start dealing with me, I need my bitch to, nigga, get up off her. I don't need my bitch to be able to, bitch, say you saved me.
Right.
Don't say you watch me take a whole ass whooping. If you watch me take a whole ass whooping, you really don't fuck with me.
You know, bro, it's deeper than just the fighting too, because I think it shows character in relationship. You know, if someone's down for you in that kind of situation, it can wipe you up and shake you off like, you know, you was wrong, but I'm still gonna stand beside you. The same person beside you when you fuck the money up the line. You know what I'm trying to say? Because, you know, as a family, you know, sometimes we're gonna take chances, we're gonna do things. You know, what happened when you fuck them? That's just like getting your ass beat in front of your bride. You know what I'm trying to say? Especially if it's something she put in on too, you know. So, you know, you need someone that's gonna be able to forgive you and stand beside you, bro. So I think that's important.
Natasha said exactly, I'm gonna go mama bear mode if somebody messes with my man. He got himself, but I got his back all the way.
That's what my wife says all the time. It's like, you get in a fight with me, I'm jumping in. I was like, no,
You
I need you to get the fucking in the car and get the car started because I'm about to fucking slide in the yeah, I'm gonna get out of this.
Almost pregnant. I don't want to remind. Too hard. Dang, that's hilarious.
You ain't gonna fuck around.
Like, so do you feel like white women more down than black women? Is that
down?
Is that the?
I would think that people would think that is the stereotype. That is the. It appears that black women are harder, rougher, tougher, meaner. It appears that way. I think if we think about systemic racism and history, we can really truly understand why many brothers and sisters are seen as hard and tough, and you know what I'm trying to say. Because I don't think just black women are seen that way. I think black men are seen that way as well.
This program,
exactly. Program, I think it's something that we're all seeing. We're seen and we're viewed as tougher. I mean, even though it's not the case, I've seen many brothers get their ass whooped by white boys in my day. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's not always the case at all. That's just like, but I think one thing we should think about when we do bring up that conversation is we got to think about population. You know what I'm saying? Like there are white women out there that are like, damn, you got your ass beat. You beat as fuck. My daddy gonna, you know, there's probably more white women out there that do it because this population is 72% women of white people. So there's probably way more white people that act that way. But because there's also so many white people in this country, that it comes off. You meet a lot more nice white people. Just like you meet a lot of bad ones. You see what I'm saying? Or negative or mean ones. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think that it's unfair to say that, just like it's unfair to say like men whatever we were saying about the relationships. I think it's too broad. It's too broad to say that white women are nicer than black women. I think that there are some white women out there that are fucking nicer than a lot of black women. I think there's some black women out there that are a lot nicer than some white women. I think there's some Chinese women out there. You know, there's all types of beautiful people and nice women in all shapes and sizes. But
so what do you think? I don't know if this is the topic, but that's kind of where the conversation led. Where do you think the relationships with the multi-relationship, do you think that's heritage? Do you think that's inherent? Do you think that if you go back to master raping the slave and that offspring having a desire to, or you know what I'm saying, that effect, or not being, you know what I'm saying, or looking at a white woman as a product, do you feel like it's inherent?
See, I disagree with that black men. I really hate that we call each other black and white. Anyway, let's keep on with for
people of color.
I don't know. We just got to figure it out. But this calling us black and white is so much about division. But anyway, we as
I say melanated and non-melanated.
Yeah,
that's too much. That's too melanin and non-melanin.
What were you saying? What was the question?
It was just trying to see if, because you know, I'm in a balance between, or I'm kind of, I want to say on the scale. It was instilled in me to marry a black woman or don't bring a white woman home. My mom was on that shit, real talk. You know what I mean? And my aspirations of being successful and being, you know what I'm saying, a person that was gonna be in limelight, you know what I'm saying, and she knew this and she spoke that in my life. It was important to her that I continued the tradition of marrying black, you know what I'm saying, or marrying a woman that looked like me. You know what I mean? My encounters along my journey has shown me that it's multi races who love is not a color. But my heart is, and I don't know if it's just inherent, but my heart is black woman. You know what I'm saying? In person, woman of color, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still working through this race thing because I know it is a manipulation of the human race to keep us at odds. You know what I'm saying? The tool of the enemy, in my opinion, the race thing is. But darker skinned women or women of color or women who have been through what I've been through are attractive to me. And again, I think part of it is what I come up with. I grew up around older women. So my attraction is to, I like older women. You know what I'm saying? I like women with maturity. I like women with smart. You know what I'm saying? I like women with natural beauty. You know what I'm saying? Part of this is where I came from. You know what I mean? What I've seen. I didn't see a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, going through the whole, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I just, you know, I respect all women. I love vagina, period. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? What God gave
all women, I love vagina.
what God gave women, like that's like He made me like that. You know what I'm saying? He made me like that. He made man to love what woman got, and that's what he.
That's what's up, bro. But man, I don't think that it's a prize. I definitely don't think it's a prize. I think it's really numbers. I think it just comes down to numbers. I think it comes down to numbers. I think when you get to be a certain NBA star, rap star, musician, certain thing, and you start traveling around the place, you're gonna run into a lot of people. A lot of those people are gonna be white. Gonna be at a lot of parties, a lot of white parties. Gonna be in a lot of situations, a lot of business with white people. And you're gonna date the people in that setting. It's not always a prize. It's not like seen as a prize. I don't think it's definitely for me, or I've never looked at white women as a prize. I've always thought sisters and Puerto Rican women and Asian women and white women were always beautiful. I've never really, my parents were completely the opposite. I mean, definitely never, ever told me or pushed me in a specific race of dating. You know what I'm trying to say? It was never really even mentioned. It was never even, I don't remember having a conversation about it. It didn't matter. The only thing my daddy cared about is that we went to an airport one time and some brother had a fur coat on and gold chains and rings on his fingers and I leaned on to him. And I don't know, maybe I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. And he's like, that's a drug dealer. And my dad said at that point, he was upset that in my mind that I would see a man with money get off a plane and call him a drug dealer. So he's like, fuck it, I'm putting in nothing but black schools for a while. So that's really what happened for me. We didn't even live nowhere close in his schools, but he purposely wanted me to go to school and be around nothing but black kids. So you know what I'm saying? So I think
that's one of the best experiences. We lost Carlos.
He's back though.
That's one of the best experiences that I had. That elementary school experience coming up, you know what I'm saying? That was a great foundation.
There you go.
My God, I'm back.
We want to hear you, bro.
My MacBook died.
There he is. You're back. We hear you.
And you clear.
We hear you.
Great.
Yeah, man.
Did you hear our conversation about, you know, sisters and less melanated sisters?
Yeah.
You got a point of view, a controversial point of view?
You know, I was out. My grandfather, who was the man that raised me, I saw him date black and white women. So I knew that I was attracted to black women. I always, I guess, hoped to marry a black woman. It wasn't until I guess really I got grown that I started to see less melanated women as attractive. And, you know, as I started gigging and getting outside of Memphis and then outside of Tennessee, then outside of America and seeing the world, then my opinion kind of slightly changed. I've been fortunate to see some beautiful beings of many ethnicities that made me think, could I see myself with you? Mm. I couldn't immediately just say, "Oh, hell no, I want to marry a black woman." I don't know. It just depends on the soul connection, you know. How deep can we connect? Is this just something physical and something temporary, or is it something that has potential for long term?
I definitely think it's it's a slow connection, and the conversation jogged a memory. I remember I want to say maybe just starting to drive 16 or 17, and I went to the bowling alley, and I think I met a white girl or something. You know what I'm saying? Me and my mom were cool, so I came back. I came back and let her know, like, you know, I might, you know what I'm saying? And so we had a back and forth about it, but you know what I mean? She ultimately respected my freedom to choose, you know what I mean? But she had her preference. Right. And she shared with me her preference. You know what I mean?
Do you have a preference for your
I don't. I have a preference of happiness. I have a preference of them being happy first, right? And then if my preference comes in, I would like, honestly, continue the tradition of. I think a strong black family is needed. I think the image is needed. I think the example is needed. I think every time I watch a commercial, it's a mixed couple. You know,
Yep.
you see a black family on a positive commercial. Last time I saw a black family was a commercial where the bitch walked in on her granddad, her husband, father, and he naked, and she got it like I'm saying.
I don't know. I see a lot more than that. Like there's that commercial for the kids born. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I see a lot of that, bro. I see a lot of this. I don't know.
I think it's still that program.
I definitely think there's definitely more for sure.
So I'm not. I think the unity of people of color is important. Not necessarily before we jump out into mixing, because that ain't what I'm saying. But I feel like it's important.
Definitely, I think it's important. I definitely think it's important, especially in this time period right now, to gain level playing field. You know, we definitely have to fight with the stereotypes, the untrue stereotypes that something's wrong with us more so than anyone else. So for sure.
I don't know if it's the time. I think period. You know,
I think you're trying to control your heart in a political fashion. I wouldn't want my children to do that.
That's well said.
You know what I'm saying?
That's said. You know what I'm saying? And real life and real love has no color. You know what I'm saying? So again,
I think if you really fall in love, no matter their supposed race, whatever it is, they're gonna love you and challenge you. They're gonna stand beside you, and the obstacles and things you dislike in the world, and the things you are against in the world. If this is your soul partner, they're going to agree with you on these things. It doesn't take color of your skin.
I think that's what's happening.
The color of your skin. I just don't feel like that. Someone can be from a whole nother place, have a whole nother history and experience, and still stand and connect with you. And I think that it's magical. I think that we are. I think it's powerful if we would be outside, if we would be open. I'm not saying to go outside in your door and say, today I'm going to find an Asian woman today. You know, today I'm going to find me a Puerto Rican. No, just be open. If you see something that attracts you, or you run into a situation that, you know, attracts you, I think that you should give it a chance, man. I think you should give it a chance. And not hold any type of political views towards love. And I think that's the real way to break down walls, man.
I don't think I have the political view on love. I think love is pure, and I think love transcends male, female, relationships, uh, racial relationships, or whatever else stigmatism they give you. I think sexual relationships are male and female. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at. You know what I mean? That may be old school, or I don't know if that's, you know what I'm saying? That boy backdrop looking cool. What you thinking, Los?
You know, I agree with you, Free. We should remain open just to see what form love comes to us in. You kind of cut yourself short of the lessons by having it predetermined what it's going to look like and how it's going to come about. And sometimes life gives you a doozy and gives you something 180 completely opposite of what you were expecting. So I just said the important part is to remain open, but you know what feels good to you also, what makes you comfortable, what keeps you consistent and looking forward to doing better and growing. So if whatever form you get that in, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Hispanic,
And when
take
you
it and
say,
run with it.
like, it's not enough black families and stuff like that. Okay, there should be more of that and more positive images of our people, period. But the idea that there's so many ideas of images of mixed people coming together, different colors of skin, being American, being a human, being of that, and having families like that, and melting those races and melting that's the best way to truly kill the illusion of race. And so it's like, I think the fact that those people couldn't even legally be married to each other at one point, and that there's so many of it now and it's being promoted as a good thing, I think that's a beautiful thing in its own. That's a beautiful thing. And it's beautiful for white people, and it's beautiful for black people. It makes everybody open up their eyes to see the humanity of each. And that if this cute little white girl can have a relationship with this dark little handsome brother, then maybe white people aren't that bad, Maybe black people aren't that bad. I think it's a good image. It's a good thing to have. It is good for it to be positive images of all people of color, but it's a positive thing
I
to see people come together.
I definitely don't disagree that the example promotes unity. I do feel as a person who has been programmed as the opposite, I feel like I don't want to say more important, but it's extremely important to show and continuously program us with images of Isaac and his wife and his children. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to see, you know what I'm saying, the collective. You know what I mean? I mean, it's cool, but don't just give me one thing. Don't just give me a steady dose of one thing and think I'm gonna miss it. You know what I'm saying? Or just try to get me hooked on this. Or I gotta be on TV. I'm a black man on TV, so I gotta have a damn near white woman or a woman you don't know if she's white or a white woman. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what I mean? I feel like in order to get to a certain level of culture, we have to build a rhythm within our culture. Like, I think that's part of what we're lacking from the Asian group.
I think that we already have culture that's just been stolen, and I think people already recognize that we are culture. We are culture. I think that we've already established that. We already established that we have families like that. I think that one thing we have to stop doing, though, is stop wanting them to give us anything anymore. We have to stop. We have to say, all right, guys, we're going to make our way, get our way, make the rules right, though. Make the laws right. Make the laws right. We can marry white women. We can go to school, white folk. Cool. That's all we need. Make it legal where we're human. Make things legal where we're human and we're all on the same level. As long as we do that, we can win. It's not so much about give us more. How about us go give us more of that?
What I meant by culture and example is you have an example of Irish culture, mafia, family, Latino culture, family, cartel even if it's got some ugliness with it, it has a humanness with it. That
you don't think black people have that?
I'm saying, is it displayed though?
I think so. Bill Cosby's show, The Cosby Show, different world. You have fucking.
That's two. That's two.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm keeping. You gave me just 2 or 3. I gave you 2.
I gave you an example of their culture.
But there's family in that culture. These were family cultures. Dancing, happiness, good times.
Well, good times. Good times.
I want to talk about the TV.
I'm gonna say, man, that is not no fucking good times, and the fucking Cosby Show is totally different.
I didn't say good times TV show. I'm talking about it's what we represent as a whole. I think that there is an image. There is a very, if you're really looking at it, black people are fun, creative, talented. We fight through shit. We've taken a lot of shit, and we're still kind and still sharing. I think if you think about it, we do have strong families. We do have business. I think our image is strong out there. I think it is. I think we're choosing to focus on those racist motherfuckers in the corner screaming about this bullshit, and we keep listening to them, ignoring that we are being praised for, that we do get respect for, that we do get. Look how many people stepped up in fact of our culture, in steps and in place. To help us, or look how many people stepped up, and look how much change has come from other people saying, "Look, these motherfuckers are important. This is bullshit." So I think that we have been, to those people, they saw it quickly. So there's an image that other white kids have seen of us, that they see us differently. That's why they imitate our culture. That's why they're because they see it. It's the racist people that have been trying to fight that culture of being shared. It's the systems that they created to try to keep it down. But our culture and who we are and what we represent, I think is well known. I think that we are seen as very strong people that are family, that fight. Yeah, we have places where they try to blow up our violence and stuff like that. But we know all people are violent. We don't drop bombs on motherfuckers. You know what I'm trying to say? We kill people that owe us goddamn money. Nigga fucking my bitch and he owe me some money. Bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like it's a personal thing, but we aren't indifferent, but we are praised, dude. We are praised, and I just think that we have to start seeing the positives and not only listen to those racist motherfuckers and what they're doing. We can't just do that. We have to do that. We got to be on. We got to wipe them out, but we can't just be that. We have to celebrate and recognize, man, that everybody don't hate us.
Carlos, you got something?
No, I agree. It's been a great conversation today. It's been a great talk.
Same. I'm gonna leave it with as far as I feel like we definitely need to focus on us, and I think that again, the majority of men I know, but men of color I know, are good fathers, great fathers. Now, that image may now be turning, but for the most part, it has been under highlighted.
In some media outlets.
In most. If
Maybe
we talk about
you looking at, not the most I've seen.
Man, okay.
I disagree.
Okay, all right, cool. But the truth is, black men of color are the most affectionate, loving fathers on the planet. White men may provide, or less melanated men may be providers or whatever, but they gone and they ain't, you know what I'm saying? So the influence of our culture has been represented, is known, and it is infectious, but I don't think it's been properly represented to the level that it could be, or even close to the level. So I think those are important images, whether we get our own and display them on our own, or we just make a personal choice to be an example. You know what I mean? So I'm pro-love. I don't think love has a color, but again, I think it is important, to just be happy. So I just leave it at that. It's important to be happy.
That's what's up, man. Well, look, it's time to go. It's been about an hour, I think. It's been good, bro. I've enjoyed it.
Man, it's been a great combo. Great combo.
Yep. Time to go, because it's time for me to go play. So,
hey, man.
This.
Bro,
time to get to work.
Have a good time, man.
That backdrop is dope as fuck, though, ain't it? That backdrop.
Hey, if anybody is in St. Louis watching this, man, go check them out if you can.
They can't.
They can't do it. It's a private birthday party, bro.
They ain't got no money.
Man,
All
what
right,
is
bro.
this light? All right,
Ice
y'all
Eskimos.
be easy. Ice
Again, the Playa.
Eskimos.
Next week. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Check y'all out next week.
Yo, peace.